How's it going, everyone? Mad Spartan here, and today bringing you another Season 44 War video. We did end up winning last war, so we are in Masters. You see we're rank 4. We're up against Absolute Chaos. The defense is looking pretty good. I will be on 2 of the 3 shared mini boss islands, but I am not on the main boss island. We do have a Photon boss, so definitely don't want to take a crack at that after last time. I heard that Mantis can take it. I am practicing with my 7-star Mantis to hopefully take that in future seasons. But as of right now, I think we have like a Herc taking it or something. First up, we have a Magneto, which at the time I didn't realize it, but then I immediately realized it as soon as I parried him. I realized that it does reduce the duration of stuns by 20% when you don't have a buff on you. So I realized right there, like the whole concept of the fight now, that you can't stun him or else the duration of the stun goes down, and you can't bait heavies because he's unstoppable. So it actually was a really good placement that I didn't even think about at the time, so I was upset about that. I do push him to the SP2 because that's the only thing you could punish him safely on. Pretty much try to go for the intercept there, land it, but I do rush to the SP2 because I am going to be prioritizing the decelerates. So I end the slow from the actual global itself because I didn't want to deal with anything like the heavy unstoppable or anything like that. So I do end up reapplying the slow while also having the decelerates myself. Throw out the Hulk relic here to push him to an SP2 safely. I'm going to dex it, and we're going to be able to get some pretty good damage, bring us right back into unstable after the SP2. So it is looking pretty good. Now, I do have to say for the future, for the future fights coming up, it was pretty tough. I ended up having a tough time with the Mephisto. I specifically brought the Venom synergy so that it would increase the potency of my Petrifies to reduce aura. But I didn't play it correctly with Sandman. I just think the mechanics of Sandman don't work well against Mephisto because you have to root him to do all your big damage, but then that gives him free power. He's got Aura of Incineration, so you're just burning away. Overall, it's not a great fight. I didn't play it well, so overall it just wasn't good, but I died last war, and I do happen to die this war, and I'm upset about it because, well, as I said in my other videos, like, I don't usually die, so like the fact that I've died 2 times in a row back-to-back, already at 4 deaths for the season, which is an absurd amount for me. That's like the highest I've ever had, so I'm hoping I can finish the season strong with Deathless. A lot of my Alliance members are recommending that I try Quicksilver. I don't like Quicksilver. I never liked him. I don't like his mechanics. It's just not something, I'm just not good enough to use him, I guess. But I have no other choice here, because as good as Sandman is, some fights I'm just having a tough time with him. So next war will have Quicksilver on it, because I need to make a change here, because I cannot die again. I have to get my confidence back. I need another Titania unbanned, but that's never going to happen again. But overall, this fight's going pretty smooth, especially with a global, because Chavez actually has none of her dimensions if you put a Wither. I do end up throwing the relic for safety and then link that into the heavies. So just like that, she's pretty much dead right now, even with the burst. 15k burst on that is pretty good. Next up, we have a Mojo. Nothing really much to it. I did actually figure out like a little bit of a way that the mechanics can help you. When you knock Mojo down, it gives you a 10% Fury, which is good, but it's mostly used for like Mystics to nullify it. But if you have him in like the rooted state, he keeps nullifying it with his aura, and that actually gives him Mystic Dispersion, which reduces his power. So like overall, it actually helps you that he keeps trying to get rid of the Fury. He stays at like 0 bars the entire fight, which is good. So as you can see here, I'm trying to bait that SP1 because as much as I can dex the SP2, if I can have him throw the SP1, that would be more ideal. Backs me into the corner, but it's not a big deal because of how long his SP1 reaches. We do go into unstable with that, and with the amount of debuffs that we have, we're taking no damage from the degen, which is good. And as you can see here, he keeps getting rid of the Furies, and I keep reducing his power gain with the Petrifies and the Withers stacked on. We do lead that into an SP1, so a pretty big burst. Controlling the fight completely power-wise, and the degens aren't an issue because we have so many debuffs. So overall, the whole fight is under control. Probably going to throw this relic at some point, and I'm going to lead that into an SP2 that makes me unstable, which is good, or not. SP1. Pretty much just holding the heavy here. I do play it safe because it didn't happen. I think it happened twice this war. But overall, I'm still scared about it, just holding the heavy and then getting slapped in the face. So I do play it a little more safe now so I don't get destroyed like that Hulk did a few wars ago. Now here, we fought her last war with Guardian. It didn't go bad, but it did not go good at all. I don't like fighting Domino here. I only use Titania, and even that fight's like tough. Like one little mess up and I lose. This one was ranked 2 Sig 40. The one last war was ranked 2 Sig 20. So I don't know what's going on with these guys. I always choose Guardian over Idum only because the Awakening critical failure does energy damage. So his Awakening is going to reduce that. If I were to use Idum, yes, it would work. But I think I'd be taking full on critical failure damage, which is not okay. Because you can even see with her critical failure, I'm only taking like 70 damage, which is really good. And he's got 9,000 energy resistance. I know for sure Idum doesn't have anything close to that. So as you see, I am panicking because it's very simple for Domino to not throw her SP2. And like she always likes to get you in the corner before she throws it. And even with the taunt, she didn't throw her SP1. So I'm a little panicking here because now I'm in an unsafe distance. I do have to dex this, which I don't like doing because sometimes the timing is a little wonky. We do have 4 shocks, only 166 damage, which is still a decent amount that's ticking consistently, but it's obviously better than anyone else who isn't shock immune. So we do have this. I'm going to be baiting. I'm going to try to bait this SP2 before we throw it. I'm just trying to end this fight as fast as possible because I don't want any part of it. 290 a tick, which isn't bad at all. Parry right into SP2 because I don't want any part of this. She does not die, but the last little permanent shock does take the last part of it off, which I was so relieved about because I did not want to deal with that fight at all. Next up is the Rooted Bubble Shield Maw. Now, the thing with that is I have taken this fight a million times with Titania. I can pretty much take the fight with anyone because I know the spacing. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was me or the spacing. I was timing it wrong, or maybe Sandman's dashback is too much. But I kept getting hit by his SP1. I was just watching it hit me. I see here I'm checking to see if I'm recording just to make sure. He did not start the fight with a light, which is fine. And just like that, I literally cashed in my entire indestructible charge. Literally because I forgot about the dexterity giving unstoppable. Now right here, I have to play the game perfect now. Everything's going pretty well. We do have the slow. He does retaliate with an SP1, so I am able to land this heavy. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. I'm going to keep building the heavy to get the heavy proficiency, which will allow me to keep going. And then with the withers, I'll be able to keep applying the slow. So like overall, I think we're doing great. I'm trying to figure out the spacing and I get hit. I think that happens like 2 or 3 times this war. Do have to end up throwing the SP1 because I did not want to get rooted, which I now know, like now, I probably shouldn't have worried too much about it because I could just throw it while I'm rooted. We do happen to land another heavy off, so we were able to reset the timer, but this time it's not going to go well for us. We are rooted. I have 9 on Bubble Shield, so I'm just dexing here in the corner, basically. Do a double medium to try to trigger the SP1. It works, but I missed the timing again. Throw the SP1 in a panic. I don't know what I'm doing. I missed the super, so I'm taking the degen, but because of the global, I'm not taking any damage. Get hit with Bubble Shield. This whole fight was so stressful. I triggered the unstoppable, but thank God I triggered my own unstoppable. I'm just laying into him now. I'm just blocking hits while unstable. And it's just a mess. I do dash back and throw a quick heavy just to get something. And not even the game knows how to compute where he ended up with the distance. So, overall, dex in the SP2. I do end up... I believe I'm able to dex the full SP2. But just to play it safe, I do dex the first hit, block the second one, and then dex the third hit. Now, he does go miss in the middle of this super, and he's already laying into me. In my head, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm doing this fight right or if I'm slowly dwindling myself down. End up blocking that by accident. Perfect block the second hit, though, so we did happen to get lucky there. Throw the SP2. Now, I did end up landing that heavy, so I was happy about that. His timer is not going yet. Do get to do another heavy, so we do reset the timer again. I have 30 hits on Bubble Shield, so I knew I had the Dex because the next hit was unblockable. Trying to bait the SP1, but at this point I'm just going full ham on it. Throw the SP1 while I'm unstable. Big burst damage, which now I'm looking at it, really wasn't that big. I'm trying to trigger parry, but it's not working. So I throw the heavy, throw another heavy, and then he didn't die, so I just threw the SP1 because I knew that the reverse regen from Petrify was going to kill him, so I was just kind of buying time for it. Now, after that horrible fight, I'm literally out of items at this point this season, so I'm going to be taking more path fights and maybe like 1 or 2 easy, relatively easy shared fights to build up my potion stash again, because I'm 2 out of 15. I'm out of all potions. Next up, I do have the Shock and Bleed, I believe, Hazard Shift with Mephisto, which isn't a problem. I did take it in the off-season, and it did work, but as you're going to see, it doesn't go too well. And then I realized that he's not the global, so like I'm not going to be doing any withers. So right here, I'm just baiting SP1s, real easy. You know, doing the punishment, willpower regenning from armor break. Very simple fight. Don't have to worry about like waiting anything out. He's going to go down in time, so I'm not really worried about that. He's getting a little bit too much power from the aura, not to mention dexing the SP1 with Mystic Dispersion does give him a decent amount. I do hit him, gives him half a bar with Mystic Dispersion, so it is a lot. The fight can get tedious. I'm slowly backing myself into the corner. I throw the SP1, and with that, the reduced Petrify and everything, he still happens to get to the SP3. He did hold out for a long time, though, so I can't completely knock it. I did use an invuln, so I didn't take any damage from this. So you're going to see, but we do end up in the corner after his heavy, so we're not looking too good. I do the heavy, and then I realize as I'm doing it that I'm literally screwing myself in the process because he's rooted so he doesn't move. I end up cashing in the invulnerability boost by dashing back wrong, and then I'm pretty much just going ham here, trying to do as much damage as possible to make the second attempt possible. And then I wanted to try something to see if it worked. I ended up holding the heavy before he did the SP3 to hope that I was indestructible during it. But you're going to see that that's not what happens. We do take a lot of damage. Still up, but with aura, I knew I was going to die, so I just do one big heavy burst to hopefully get something. He is at 40% health at the end of it, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to fully boost. I still had my indestructible boost, so I wasn't too worried about that. And this fight, I'm going to do a lot more careful. Pretty much only baiting SP1s, punishing after them, and just taking my time with it. Trying not to do anything crazy. I do have soul imprisonment, so the dex buff is not happening at the time. So no Mystic Dispersion for the first 20 seconds of the fight, which is pretty big, considering that's literally what this whole fight is, just baiting SP1s with Mystic Dispersion. He does trigger the 4 souls, which sucks. It's a whole extra, like, 4k health or something like that. I do end up throwing the SP1 again because I know that I do kind of have to do some damage. I want to get some Petrifies too, so I don't have to worry too much. We do bait the SP2. He has aura, and in my head, I'm just basically going for it. With all of the unstable, the aura of incineration isn't doing too much damage to me, so it's not too bad. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied today. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, pretty much just put the slow on so we don't have to trigger anything else. The Petrifies are working their magic. He's gonna throw the SP2 here. I'm gonna go right for it. Try to wait it out as fast as possible, because we don't want to get back into the corner with it again, because that was just a mess last time, pretty much just getting eaten alive from it. Taking our time with it, just doing 3 to 4 hit combos, constantly baiting the SP1 because that's the for sure way to win it. Gonna bait another SP1 here, hopefully. But I think I might end up going for it because I do have 18 unstable. So pretty much gonna go unstable and then throw the SP2, and then we're pretty much done. We didn't even need the SP2, just use the relic. And just like that, my war was over. It wasn't a great war, that's for sure. But my alliance members are trying to help me out. You know, they're trying to figure out what I can do different. And they realize I had a rank 5 Quicksilver that I'm just not using because I don't like the way that he works. I never have any fun with him. I always get confused. I don't play him right, and then you just kind of I get annoyed. But I've been hearing great things about him. I am going to give him a try. So he definitely will be in the next war because I need to do something different here. It's just not working out. But overall, it was a good war. Right now we're losing 7-5. No, yeah, 5-7. But hopefully we can make a comeback. They do have a few more fights, so hopefully we can at least, get a few more deaths that we're able to at least win by 1 or 2 or something like that. But we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know the results in the next video. It wasn't a great fight. Wasn't a great war in general. But we're making improvements. Hopefully that'll be my last death of the season. We are at 114 subscribers, which is an absurd amount. Cannot believe we got that many. I do have a 100 subscriber special video coming up. It'll probably be my 2 videos from now or 3 videos from now. It takes a little bit of planning. Just something fun. It's not going to take too long. But overall, I appreciate the support, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.